Yo, everybody, back to the JV Sports Room as usual. Your host, JDino, the other half of the team behind the scenes, my man Vince.
Yeah.
Holding down the Kobe corner as usual, my man J Money. Welcome back to the show.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Back at it again, man. Yep.
And in the starting center spot, big body boy himself.
Yes, sir.
Big J back in the house.
Big body.
Yes, sir. And on the right wing, bona fide Patriots fan, Red Sox fan. I'd like to welcome to the show my man John, Mr. Patriot Bling himself.
Pleasure to be here, guys.
Got a Patriots fan, so we're obviously here to talk about this AFC East. But before we jump to the AFC East, JV Sports Room actually does have a redraft fantasy league that we are starting up amongst the JV team. So obviously we got over in the right wing, my man John. He'll be in that section with a few other guys that have sat in this very spot before. Got the starting center spot represented by Big J, and we've got other guys that have sat in this starting center spot. And then we've got a few guys that are actually Kobe Corner certified. And the ones that are Kobe Corner certified, along with my man Vince behind the scenes.
Yeah.
He gonna be holding down a team, and you guys can co-own that team with the man behind the scenes. It's gonna be the last spot. So make sure you guys like, subscribe, and hit us with Fantasy League in your comments. You guys will randomly be selected, and we guys will co-own a team with the man behind the scenes. But that league actually doesn't get started for probably a couple months right before the season starts. But right now, we're here to talk about this AFC East. Obviously, we got a representative from the Patriots, Mr. Patriot Bling himself. So we're going to kick it off with those New England Patriots.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Hey, thanks again for having me, guys. Super excited to be here. Super excited about the Pats offseason. Mac Jones was a big pickup last year. I got my boy on my shirt right here, future GOAT, pictures don't tell the whole story, Tom Brady's shirtless picture didn't look that great in the pre-draft process back then, and neither did Mac, but, he had a great first season. I feel like kind of a historic rookie year for a quarterback. Yep. Obviously, the guy's intelligence is off the charts. A little concerned about Josh McDaniels leaving, going over to Oakland. That's a big gap. Still trying to figure out who our offensive coordinator is going to be. We're looking at Patricia. Didn't work out well with the Lions. Right. We got Joe Judge. Didn't work out well with your Giants. Little concern there. And with the continuity going into year two, everything I've heard is that they're trying to shrink the playbook a little bit for him, just make him think quicker on his feet and just make the whole thing easier for him. Everything I'm hearing going into, some of the camps we just had, he's looking amazing. Guy's first guy in the training facility, last guy out.
Always good to hear.
So, couldn't be more excited there. Some of the concerns, J.C. Jackson going to the Chargers.
Big loss.
Huge loss.
Yeah. Big loss there, so we got a big hole at cornerback, and I'm still hoping we do some moves there to fill that out. Probably going to be playing a little more zone. We're pretty stacked in our safety position. Jason McCourty's coming back. Probably might be his last year. We got Jabril Peppers, obviously. Duggar, a guy we drafted 3 or 4 years ago. One of the guys we reached for, that's the Patriot way. We reach for people in the draft, but they usually work out for us a little bit. So
Cole Strange, right?
Cole Strange. That's the most recent example. Exactly right. So being a Patriots fan, exciting. We've had some success in the last 20 years, but it's not fun being a Patriots fan watching the draft because they always do things that isn't expected. So
absolutely. I mean, you start off praising Mac Jones, and I agree. I attest to that 100%. Had a great rookie year. And what does the team do? They bring over, some will say, a legit bona fide number 1 wide receiver, and Devontae Parker comes over from Miami to take on that number 1 role. It's something you guys were missing last year, was a legit alpha wide receiver on the outside. Should be good for Mac Jones, build a relationship with Parker. Still have Jacoby Myers involved.
Kendrick Bourne.
Yeah, and with Parker, the whole thing's always been health, right? So super excited about that. But we got a little more depth. We got Thornton in the draft. Would have loved to get Sky Moore there, but again, that's the Patriot way. We reach for people. Belichick's got to be the smartest guy in the room, always going off the board. But Thornton's speed. Everything I'm hearing is we want to get a lot faster. A lot of teams in our division. There's a lot of speed there. Obviously,
I think at the end of the day, you guys are looking to ground and pound really anyway, right? With Damien Harris, Ramondre Stevenson, you guys bring in a whole lot of flash with Pierre Strong.
Yeah.
So I think that's what you guys are looking to do, is ground and pound anyway, right?
Yeah, I agree. So I think with the Patriots, their approach this year is give Mac a little more time. Let him develop more. You know, I've looked at his play last year. You know, you think back to that Buffalo game, that windy game, right? You know, and
the game where he threw 4 passes.
Yeah, but Josh Allen looked great passing the ball, right?
Yeah,
so you got to give him more scenarios, more situations for him to grow and him to have that film to look back at his own play. Forget the film of others, but at your own play. And that's why they went and drafted 2 rookie running backs this year, Kevin Harris, Pierre Strong. And to second what you say, I love Pierre Strong. The guy's speed is, you can't question it. He's got that 6th gear.
Draft, right?
Yeah, he's got that, to me, but he's got that 6th gear that you don't see all the time. But at the end of the day, you know, you still have Damian Harris, you have Ramondre. You play that bully ball this year. You play that bully ball, you control the ground, you control the clock. You win the game in the trenches. And at the same time, you allow for Mac to have those situations to continue to develop. And I'm with you on that J.C. Jackson loss. That was tough, man. That's a tough loss.
Yeah. And we have this saying, you know, in Belichick we trust, and I'm going to continue believing in the GOAT coach until he's gone. But yeah, you know, it's going to be an interesting year. I'm predicting around 11 wins. I actually think we're going to finish 2nd in the division. You know, getting a new coaching staff down in Miami. You know, obviously they're stacked position-wise, but they've been stacked position-wise before. You know, I think a lot of the benefits the Patriots have always had is they get that continuity with the coaching staff, the message. You know, they talk about the Patriot way. When you walk in that place, you know, you're not just learning from the coaches, you're learning from everyone that's been there for years. And, you know, you don't get that with new coaching staffs coming in every year. So I think that's going to help us out a lot. That's going to be the difference maker for 2nd place. I don't think anyone's touching the Bills. You know, they've had this continuity now that I just talked about for, 5 or 6 years. You know, they're probably, I think they're number 1 ranked team right now on ESPN as far as their, you know, their defense and their offensive position players. So going to be tough to take them down. But, you know, I think we'll have enough to get into the playoffs, hopefully.
So as a Patriot fan, what's probably your favorite draft pick? I know it's frustrating, and I'm with you there. As a Niner fan, I get frustrated watching us do a draft sometimes. But it doesn't work out. It works out in the long run. We're like, well, okay, I didn't see that.
Yeah.
But
favorite draft pick this year?
Yeah.
Actually, you know, I don't love the spot, but I love Cole Strange. I mean,
I think it fits a serious need.
You lose Shaq Mason, so he feels a need there.
And you get younger, and most importantly, cap-wise, you get cheaper.
Yeah,
I mean,
absolutely. And you mentioned our running game. I mean, it all starts in the trenches. You know, and Isaiah Wynn, they're talking about moving him to right guard, maybe putting Cole at left. So with the Patriots, they're always, you know, making sure people are versatile, intelligent. You know, they can play multiple positions. And Cole, so far in the camps, has seemed like he can do that. So don't love the spot. Feel like we could have got him later in the 2nd, but you know,
why didn't they trade back? Is my question.
Yeah, because you know, 1st round picks are all guaranteed contracts. You probably could have got that in the 2nd and dealt with the budget a little more. I think purposely though, I think with losing J.C. Jackson, I got my eye on Marcus Jones.
Yeah,
cornerback from Houston. I mean, he's not going to be an outside corner per se, but a nickel corner that could play tough. Kind of like the Honey Badger has that tough mentality.
No one expected J.C. Jackson to do what he did. Right? I think he was a 4th round pick. You know,
exactly.
And to speak on all of this, and you know, wide receiver, yes. Question Bill Belichick's history of drafting wide receivers. But any other position in the league, I mean, I'm not going to question one of the greatest coaches of all time and greatest team builders of all time. Like I said, wide receiver, we'll question that all day. But Cole Strange, I questioned the pick. Just didn't know anything about him. Small school. You guys have said it clear. The draft told the story. You draft 2 running backs in the draft this year. You have Ramondre Stevenson last year, 2 addition with Damian Harris. And also, let's not forget that James White is still on the roster. May miss a couple weeks, maybe on the pup, but he's still there. So, I agree. Going to be ground and pound, run the ball, let Mac, you know, shorten the playbook, quick throws. And
to Hunter.
Let's not forget, I mean, this team was a playoff team last year. So,
absolutely. Hopefully, we can make a little more noise this year.
Yeah, a little bit.
That's all credit to Belichick, though. You think about it, because you guys had a rough start. And then he put what he had together and just made it happen. Like, I tell people all the time, you know, losing Josh McDaniels, he went to Las Vegas, right? It's not enough talk sometimes that coaches that come under the Belichick tree and another name that doesn't get enough respect under their tree is Andy Reid. They tend to have success into the league. So Belichick, though, I mean, I give him all the credit in the world. I mean, he's a great coach. You can't take anything away from him. So it clearly showed what he took in the beginning where you guys struggle and looked like where everybody was, you know, everybody wants to hate the Patriots. Let's face it, right? Who doesn't if you're not a Patriot fan? But he brought that team together and got you guys in the playoffs. You know, he took what he had and he made it happen. So I like what can happen for your team. You know, just for the pieces you got right now.
Listen, the rebuild had to start at some point. You know, we all knew Brady was going to leave eventually. It finally happened. It was, it's heartfelt. It was tough to see him in a different uniform for sure. I wish he would have retired a Patriot, but and see him win a ring with another team was extremely painful. But you know, the rebuild had to restart at some point. I was excited about it. I knew we'd take a couple steps back, especially that first
team,
year.
Right?
Especially Keeling's team. Yeah, that's the most painful.
Here's the question: did you go to the Tampa game and watch him?
No. No. Everyone asked me, like, you see a Brady fan now that he moved? I'm like, nah, I'm a Patriots fan. I'm a Patriots fan since I was a kid. Love the guy. I'll always appreciate everything he's done for us, but I just don't think our rebuild could have gone any better, really. I mean, you know, you're always gambling when you take a rookie quarterback. I think we did pretty well there.
Absolutely, like it.
So yeah, you know, we're off to a good start.
No, the rebound for you guys was definitely fantastic, man.
Yep.
Obviously, like you said, going into next season, probably second only behind these Bills. But we let you wear that hat a little too long, though. So can we get this guy a JV hat?
All right. I'm official now, boys.
Not Giants blue.
Oh man, this hurts. Sitting next to the Giants guy wearing Giants colors
In the Giants section.
I know. I'm in the Giants section. Yeah, where's Mario Manningham and Plaxico Burress?
Right behind you over there, as a matter of fact.
Right off.
But no, you mentioned that you guys are only second to the Bills, who are probably the favorites in this division. So obviously we usually started off at the top, but since New England Patriots fan here, we started off with New England. But we're gonna jump into these Buffalo Bills. Josh Allen, MVP candidate, right? You know, how we feel about these Buffalo Bills going into this next season?
I hate to say it, man. They're the best in the business right now. I think they're the best team in the league.
Best team in the league?
You said odds favorites to win right now, right?
Oh, 100%, yeah. I mean, you know, anything can happen. We all know that, injuries and how everything plays out, but it's going to be tough to overtake them. The Chiefs, I think, have the best chance. You know, Chargers, AFC West is brutal right now, you know, so I think there's going to be some competition there, but Bill's got that continuity. They keep getting better every year.
It's similar to, we bring up Mac Jones being the unwanted quarterback of that draft class. Josh Allen was the unwanted quarterback of his draft class.
Very good point.
That's a great point.
Good point.
And look where he is now. You know, he's at the top of the mountain, and I agree 100%. The Bills are the favorite for me personally to win. I do have my other secret team, my other Las Vegas pick, but I do like the Bills. I mean, what's not to like? Josh Allen, dual threat quarterback, does it all.
Right.
Rocket of an arm. All pro wide receiver, Stephon Diggs.
Yeah.
You add the addition to electric James Cook coming from Georgia.
Love that pickup.
In the draft. What's not to like? Von Miller, free agency.
I forgot about
the rich get richer.
Right? The rich just get richer. And they've got a lot of nice pieces. They got Gabriel Davis, nice wide receiver as well.
Absolutely.
Nice Dawson Knox that, translated into one of Josh Allen's favorite pieces last year. And then they go and get a couple athletes in the draft as well. So I like what Buffalo's doing, man.
Good coach.
I mean, and at the same time, I know a lot of people talk about the electric pick of James Cook. And there's the argument like he's going to come in and be like the RB1 for the team. I still think we cannot disrespect what Devin Singletary has done in those last 4 games of the season with 6 touchdowns, then 3 touchdowns in the playoffs. Like he's not just going to get wiped away from that. So I think that James Cook with Devin Singletary, it's going to add to that backfield in a way that it's going to be nice. Like I think James Cook's going to carry it now, and Devin Singletary, he might be small, but the dude is nice between, in between the trenches.
They're saying James Cook could be playing out of the slot, more receiver type routes. But you're right. I mean, Singletary is so underrated. I think if anything's going to hamper the Bills, it's going to be letting Josh Allen keep running. I mean, you gotta pull the reins back a little bit. Say, be a pocket passer, be smart. You want your longevity here.
To that point, the same question we had with the Mac Jones situation in New England, losing their offensive coordinator, Brian Dabble, offensive coordinator for Josh Allen, leaves and goes to the G-Men.
Great pick.
So great pick for the G-Men. Could be a big loss for the Bills. That he was the play caller there, and Sean McDermott, great coach from the Andy Reid tree. There you go. More defensive minded though, so let's figure out who the offensive coordinator is going to be. But at the end of the day, it's Josh Allen's show. He's got the reins. Great addition, Jamison Crowder coming over.
Absolutely.
You lose Cole Beasley,
like
so
that.
Jamison Crowder steps in as that slot receiver to the little short third down catches.
And as long as he's healthy, he's perfect for that spot, man.
Absolutely.
And Josh Allen's gonna love him there too.
And defensively, to what you said, I think a pick that's not talked about enough in the NFL draft in the first round was Khalil Elam. from Florida.
Yeah.
You know, adding that cornerback and hopefully Tre'Davious White comes in here.
There you go.
Fully healthy. That's going to be Micah Hyde back there. That's going to be a,
They got depth,
a
man.
DB duel.
Yeah,
like,
of a secondary.
I mean,
hell of a secondary.
we're literally talking about a team that was a coin flip away from being in the Super Bowl.
Yes.
That's what it comes down to.
Literally.
Yeah. Coin flip away.
Josh Allen rule that needs to come.
Yeah. So
Came to play.
yeah, all in on the Bills for sure. The division runs through Buffalo,
Absolutely.
upstate New York for sure.
100%.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's
Well.
great. I think it's great for football, though. It really is. You know, and we want to see Buffalo get there, right? Here's the talk. They get there. Is that the Buffalo the past 4 straight Super Bowls, 4 straight losses?
Yeah.
Or are they going to get over that?
bring
And
it
I
back,
mean,
get over
honestly,
that.
as a football fan, if they were to win this Super Bowl, I'll be happy.
You got it.
And I think it's great for football.
You know, any struggling fan base who's had those, stretches, the Cleveland Cavaliers, I mean, you get these teams out there and you feel for some of these fan bases. So yeah, happy for the Bills fans. Hate to say it, a lot of those fans have talked trash to me over the years and hated my team, but it's good to have parity in the league, and it really is good to have that.
And I'll put this on record. It come out of my pocket. Any Buffalo Bills fans in the chat, any fans of the show, that Buffalo Bills fans, if the Bills win the Super Bowl, you got this table. I'll body slam you through this table. Come out of my pocket.
Witness. I love it.
Put it out there. Put it out there. You guys can have this table.
Yeah, so I think obviously the next is the Fins, probably, right. I think they're projected right now to be second in the division.
Yep.
I don't see that. Just new coaching staff. We were talking about continuity before. I think they are going to struggle from that. Right. You get these big names. They've had that before though. And you got to put the pieces together. That takes time. I love the new hire, McDaniel, from coming over from San Francisco. Obviously, he did a great job over there. They've got amazing weapons. Chase Edmonds. They got Tyreek Hill. They got Waddle still there. They got Gesicki. It's an amazing team, but I think it's going to be maybe a year or two before they put it all together and really take that next step. Because the Patriots play everyone tough. I mean, unless it's the Patriots in Miami, and then we lose every one of those games.
right.
I was there for the Miami Miracle game. That still hurts.
Oh, you was there? Wow,
Yeah.
that had to hurt.
That did.
I can imagine.
Yeah, Gronkowski can't block. Let's just. Good thing he's retired now.
Yeah.
But as a Niner fan, I go what you said with the signing of Mike McDaniels. That was a good pickup for them. But as a Niner fan, where it hurt more for what Miami did was signing Wes Walker as their wide receiver coach. That was huge.
Yeah.
I think he'll have more of an impact than McDaniels will for that team in terms of their passing.
Well, that hurts the
game and all that
Patriots
stuff.
too, right? I mean, that was our boy. Now he's coaching up the enemy, right?
He's got the intel.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So, I mean, Miami makes a bunch of big moves, at the top and on the field itself. Obviously they bring over Tyreek Hill, and they bring over a slew of running backs, and now in Tua they trust, right? They better because Tyreek is hyping them up.
He is.
Yeah, sure is.
Yeah.
Tyreek said that he actually is more accurate than Patty Mahomes. I don't know if you guys hear that.
Yeah, I think everyone got a good giggle on that one.
I mean, what do we expect him to say?
Right,
Exactly.
Yeah.
You gotta have your quarterback.
I do think Tua's got a bad rap the last few years, though. I mean, when you see him play the eye test, he passes it every time.
Yeah.
He does.
So
Make some bonehead plays. I mean, but what quarterback doesn't make bonehead plays?
well, and then you're changing position, changing your coaching staff every year, right? And you got to give that guy some continuity too. So
Absolutely.
To see him put it together.
This Miami team last year was a parallel of 2 seasons. This team went 0-7 and then 1-7 straight. Yeah. And similar to the rest of the division, it's kind of parallel with offensive coordinators. You're getting the offensive coordinator from the 49ers coming over as the head coach. Coming from that tree, that 49ers, the Cal Shanahan tree. And you mentioned the running backs, the additions, the Raheem Mosterts, Chase Edmonds come over from Arizona.
Yeah.
Sony Michel's
That's
there.
right.
So it's a boatload of running
Still got
backs.
Myles Gaskins there.
They even they put a second round tender on Salvin Ahmed, right? They got a bunch of running backs over there.
You know what? I think that's the one thing that bothers me about Miami. I understand they come from the Shanahan tree and have, bringing them in, trying to have this whole running back, by committee stuff. But I feel like they were so loaded with picks these last 2 years that you don't have to spend a running back in the first round, right? But they have so much seconds and thirds. Like, there's so much talent out there that why not get a young dog there that can come in and really take over this backfield and claim it?
Yeah.
Now you got all these other pieces here and you spend the
Never
cap
know who the
and
main
doing all
guy
this.
is. It's going to be
that's,
Chase, but you're right.
that's my one knock.
My opinion on it is this is a team that needed offensive line help badly. You bring over Connor Williams from Dallas. You sign Teron Armstead, who's a free agent from the Saints. So the pieces are in place for the offensive line. My philosophy on building a team, and who am I? Just Joe Schmo, but get the offensive line established first. and then you add the running back. Now, if you were to add the running back, and we've seen running backs in the past to get with bad offensive lines, it just doesn't do anything for them. So I think they're doing it the right way. I know we're questioning not drafting Breece Hall when they had an opportunity to, or any other big name running back, but let's give them an opportunity. This
Could
is
have a Javonte Williams in your team right now.
could have Devontae, but we've seen the 49ers do more with less.
Yeah,
so
it's true.
And
I think the biggest take when it comes to the season right now is, you got a young quarterback into it, right?
Yeah.
He really started coming along in the second half of the season last year.
Correct.
So now every time you change his coaching staff, it could be hard on young quarterbacks.
Yeah.
So we'll see how that, plays out, whatever. But I think that's what will hurt them. But a lot of controversy that happened in the offseason in Miami, a lot of in-house stuff that's not put up there on Front Street. So we just got to see what Miami does. I feel like Miami was great on the right direction. And with this offseason, now I'm questioning it. Where is it at? Not with the players that's on the field, but in-house. Because in-house, if the order of the house ain't right there and they ain't going to portray right on the field,
they're the wild
players are
card
not
of the
going to want to play for you.
If they won 7 games, you wouldn't be shocked. And if they won 13 games, you wouldn't be shocked, right? I mean, they could go really either way. But yeah, for right now, I think that they're probably in that 3rd spot.
I think Big J said it best, man. They had a tale of 2 halves last year, and it was because when Tua came back, they started to play better. So I mean, I think this team runs through Tua at this point in time. He's got to step up, and he's got to show that with all these weapons and the new wide receiver coach and all of these additions that Miami brought in for him to succeed, he's got to succeed now.
And if he doesn't, right over his shoulder, Teddy Bridgewater, waiting in the wings. He's been a proven quarterback in the league.
Talk about an underrated pickup, by the way.
Yeah, absolutely.
Especially someone with an
in the
injury.
7th round that they took.
That's a fantastic veteran quarterback.
Yeah, that's got to be one of the best backups in the league right now. I mean, he's legit.
Well, Teddy will hold you down. He's just a bridge quarterback.
He's a manager. He'll manage the game for you. He's not going to lose it necessarily.
Yeah, if you draft another quarterback per se, he's someone that can hold your team down.
No pun intended. Yeah, but the Dolphins, they filled a lot of needs. Not necessarily through the draft, but who did fill a lot of needs through the draft are those New York Jets.
Yes, sir.
Man.
They lived and breathed in the draft.
Can I just run
supposedly the last team in this division, but they're young. You know what I'm saying? They got a lot of young pieces. Second year for Zach Wilson. He's got a brand new wide receiver to throw the ball to, and Garrett Wilson. How we feel about these Jets after this draft and this offseason, gentlemen?
The Jets, I agree with you. Best draft out of any team in this league to me. I mean, you start off with a Sauce Gardner.
Yeah.
With the 4th pick.
Yep.
Love it. Garrett Wilson at one point, at the 10th pick. Then you trade up to get Jermaine Johnson.
Huge.
And get an edge presence on your team. And then you follow that up in the 2nd round with Breece Hall. And then, shout out to Shaheem Holloway with this 3rd round pick, former St. Pete coach that took that team, St. Peter's coach that took that team to, March Madness.
Yep.
He went and made the 3rd round pick, who arguably to some is probably one of the favorite tight ends in his class. I'm not saying he's the best, but great blocker, deceptive speed, reliable hands. Ohio State, Jeremy Rucker, when he made the pick, it said New Jersey Jets. NFL, get it right. Get it right.
That's where they're at.
Yeah, get it right. But then they had 2 4th round picks. They grabbed some edge prices with Michael Clements, and they ended up taking Max Mitchell, another offensive line that they needed. Yep. So if you think about even along with that, I think they had a great offseason too. You think about what they did. They signed DJ Reed. Add that to the cornerback with Sauce.
With Sauce, yeah.
They signed Jordan Whitehead. LaMarcus Joyner, he didn't play much last year. He was injured. But so that could be some help to the safety thing. And you still got the other Michael Carter there.
Yeah.
So, I think, when you add that with that secondary, it could be something this year, possibly, might make some top 12 secondary, when it comes to noise, when it comes to that secondary. The biggest hurt for me as a Niner fan is when they took Laken Tomlinson.
Yes.
The Jets, a lot is not being spoken about that offensive line. That offensive line is tough.
Yeah.
If you look at their room, you got George Fant, Laken Thompson, you got Rare Tucker, you got Beckham, and then you got Connor McGovern holding down the center spot. Like, that offensive line is tough.
Yeah, it is.
Protect the quarterback.
There you go.
Get the quarterback. Get after the quarterback. That's what the Jets did.
So going back, get the quarterback, I think this year depends a lot of Zach Wilson's growth.
Absolutely.
Right? That's what it
100%.
depends on. I mean, you got Garrett Wilson there. You got Elijah Moore, who's great. He's going to be nice in this league. So, I mean, the weapons are there. And, you know, Patriot boy that I'm actually glad they have on. I like Braxton Berrios. I think I think he's a nice little
Yeah.
You know?
They got away from the Patriots.
He's a Wes Welker. He's a Julian Edelman. You know?
Yeah, he fits into that role.
Playbook there.
Dan Amendola.
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly. So,
One of those kind of guys.
but I love what the Jets are doing. It's sad what Vegas got them at over under 5.5 wins. I think they go over. But
Like you said with Detroit, man, take the over, man.
yeah. I think this is a team that can make a lot of noise coming up. You know, Buffalo is the crown of the AFC East right now.
Right.
But we can't sleep on the Jets. They are making the moves that are necessary. They're young.
Yep.
Along with that offensive line, they might arguably have one of the nicest backfields that we're about to see this season.
That's true, man. I don't think Michael Carter just gets phased out of
Not at all. He's
at
used
all.
to that role. This is what he did in North
he did in
Carolina with
North
Javonte being the lead dog.
Correct.
Absolutely.
So he
You know?
should complement Breece Hall nicely, man. And they'll probably
Absolutely.
ground and pound until Zach Wilson gets, accustomed to, his weapons. And I think these Jets are off to the races once they,
You mentioned
Get together.
you mentioned the running game. It starts with the offensive line. You know, last year's draft, you take Elijah Vera Tucker. That was your first round guard last year. You bring in Lincoln Tomlinson.
Yep.
Comes over free agency. You still got Mekhi Becton, one of the best tackles in the league. I think it's safe to say that everybody's looking at Zach Wilson. It's got to be Zach Wilson.
Exactly.
Garrett Wilson, the 10th overall pick this year, wide receiver from Ohio State. It's going to give you that explosion on the outside that you were kind of missing last year. Yeah, you had Elijah Moore working in the seams. He was kind of banged up last year as well. Still have Corey Davis handling the outside, but you have an explosive wide receiver with the explosive running game. The arrow's pointing up for these Jets. I think they're too young. They might be a year too early. But CJ Uzomah is another good addition to this team,
I like
a good
that.
blocking tight end.
I like that.
And it's funny that I say CJ Uzomah because this team kind of reminds me of the Bengals
Yeah.
in a sense. Just young,
and the Bengals
explosive.
surprised
That's a
everybody
great
too,
point.
right?
Yep.
That's a great point.
I mean, it used to be the AFC least, and it's not that anymore. You know, it's a tough division. I think the only reason they're not getting that much credit is it's a bit of a meat grinder division. It's kind of like the AFC West. There's some tough teams now. Got to play each of them twice.
Right.
And I think you're right. I think they're maybe a year or two away. I mean, arguably they got the best player at 4 different positions in the draft, right? They killed the draft, and that's what just good coaching does, letting the ownership, pick a good coach like Saleh, come in and just do your job, and he's killing it so far.
And to add that, when you say a year or two away, I think some of the cap issues for some of the deals Buffalo is doing, it's going to catch up in where we start seeing the swing in the AFC East.
Yeah.
You think about this Von Miller deal they just did.
Huge.
Great addition.
Yeah.
Yep.
Don't get me wrong.
Well, and the
I think
reason Vaughn goes there is because, once you build a good product, people want to go there. They'll take a discount,
Right.
They want to be part of a winning culture.
And Vaughn knew they're probably only a Von Miller away from a championship. You know what I'm saying?
they're almost like they follow the Rams pedigree. Let's go ahead, sell out, pay what we got to pay. We'll deal with the cap stuff later.
That's what
You got a
Vaughn
lot of
does. He
young
looks
players.
around.
Smart man.
That's the one.
Yeah, no, but arrow's pointing up for these Jets. If I'm in New Jersey, I'm excited about the Jets.
Jersey Jets, man. Yo, New York can have the Giants, man, but it should be Jersey Jets, man. It makes sense.
Definitely
makes
not
sense.
the AFC least anymore.
Yeah, the Nets did it, right? They took on Brooklyn. It's like, Jets can do the same
I don't
thing.
want to talk about that, man. I'm not a hockey fan. All we have was the Devils. Like, come on, dog.
All right, so that's all we really got for the AFC East. But I know there's definitely other big news going on in the NFL, big news going on in sports. So I'm going to send it over to the Star Center spot for the Big Body Boy News of the Week.
We're here, Big Body News of the Week. On the field news. Big news here in Washington. Terry McLaurin signs a 3-year contract extension with the Commanders, $71 million deal.
Commanded a big deal, huh?
He commanded a big deal, and he earned it. So Carson Wentz has his wide receiver one locked in, loaded, ready to roll.
That's a huge signing for them. Obviously, I know Carson Wentz just comes over in this offseason. And to see that your starting wide receiver holding out, it had to be a little scary for him at first.
Right.
I know Jahan Dotson was getting a lot of run in, camp right now, but it's definitely a good thing to see Terry McLaurin back for them.
Yeah,
This
absolutely.
is cool and all, but I think Sam Howell was very happy about this. I think he's over next year.
This is true.
That's all the on the field news we have, but now we on the court now. Some big news in the NBA. Breaking news here. The Atlanta Hawks trade for the San Antonio Spurs DeJounte Murray. Giving up 3 first-round picks and Danilo Gallinari. So now you pair DeJounte Murray with Trae Young. That's a tough backcourt.
That's
Young.
a heck of a backcourt, man.
That's ice cold.
Finally getting the man some help.
Yeah.
Real.
For sure.
sure.
That's gonna be tough, man. I definitely think Atlanta definitely makes a strong push for playoffs this year. Absolutely.
Yeah, we just got to address the John Collins situation and see where that contract goes and if he stays or if he goes.
A lot of people saying he might be next on the trading block, so we'll see. Clint Capella as well. So Atlanta's looking to make a lot of moves this offseason, but they just made a big one to start it off. That's for sure.
And some more on the court news. We have, sorry LA fans, but Kyrie Irving has opted in to his $37 million player option. So,
You don't got to apologize.
but I mean, it's still not too late. There is a potential deal that could be in the works. Just because he opted in, he's getting to get the money, but there's still some trade potential talks in the works. Any thoughts there? No? Okay. And last on the court news, we have James Harden with the Philadelphia 76ers. He declines his $47.3 million option with the hopes of potentially working out a deal with Philadelphia on a contract, but it's going to be a little bit more flexible so the team can be able to get involved in free agency. So he's looking to stay in Philly.
I hope so. I
think it's good for Philly.
It's good if it plays out that way, or are we just seeing the James Harden stuff we see? You know,
Good for Philly, man. I'm just kind of done with this whole James Harden, Kyrie Irving, skepticism, rumors, all of that. I'll wait till something, solid really pans out, and we'll go from there.
And the biggest news of the week on the court, the Orlando Magic officially draft
Paolo Banchero.
There you go. That's all I got for the big body news of the week. Back to you in the studio.
All right. Well, we obviously, like I said, we got a Patriots fan, but he's also a proud Red Sox fan.
Yes, sir.
Well, welcome to the Giants / Yankee.
Yeah. I don't. What am I doing here?
Not the cat.
But that's pretty good. That's pretty good.
But obviously, we know the Yanks are still on top, but you guys officially are in #1 spot right now for the wild card spot,
Yes,
right?
sir. Yeah. We're third place in the division. We're half a game behind Toronto, 13.5 games behind the Yankees. Yankees are on a historic pace this year. I mean, they gave Aaron another year to try to put this together, the manager, and he's doing it. He's doing a phenomenal job. I mean, they're stacked. Aaron Judge is killing it this year. Stanton's
29
healthy.
home runs
Yeah,
right now.
everything's working for them.
Speaking
right
of Aaron Judge, make him the highest paid Yankee of all time.
He's going to be the highest paid player. In fact, there's question that the Yankees might not sign him. If George Steinbrenner was still alive, this wouldn't even be a question.
Yeah, sign the man. Sign the man.
He's commanding a lot of money. There's a lot of luxury tax there.
I bet he is.
Yeah, indeed.
I bet he is. But he's Red Sox, like we said, fighting in the wild card spot right now. How do you feel about their season, looking forward?
We limped out of the gate. Chris Sale was injured, coming into the season.
Coming back soon, though, right?
Coming back soon. Mm-hmm. Yeah, he had a little setback, so I think we're looking at the end of July, so that's good. Eovaldi, it's our second best pitcher.
Yep.
He's done really well for us. Got injured. It all comes down to pitching.
Always.
Our bullpen has struggled at times, but we came out of the gates and it didn't look like we had any chance at the playoffs. And here we are, in a wild card spot. And all you have to do is make the playoffs in baseball. Anything can happen. Last year we took out the Yankees in 1-game playoff. Went on a pretty good run there. Houston killed us. It still hurts. But I think we're in a pretty good spot. It will be interesting to see. The trade deadline is August 2nd. Interesting to see how we do between now and then, and if we're moving pieces or trying to pick pieces up.
Any moves that you look for these Red Sox to do before the trade deadline?
We could solidify Bobby Dalbec's our first baseman. He's still hasn't really put it all together yet. I was really sad to see Kyle Schwarber go last year. I thought he was such a great fit for us. So get some power at the first base spot. Solidify relief pitching. And then, you can never have enough. We have Rich Hill. We have some other guys that are coming back. Michael Walker's been a great pickup coming from Tampa Bay.
Agreed.
But, we can never have enough pitching. So
nope, not at all. Especially with the health concerns that they've had early. You know, you definitely could add some more pitching.
And for the love of God, I mean, we got rid of Mookie. That was a homegrown guy that we moved over to LA. That hurt. Yeah. Verdugo was the chip we got back. He's been a really solid outfielder for us. I feel like he was a good piece, but we got to sign Xander to a long-term contract.
Gotcha.
I mean, that guy's top 2, top 3 shortstop in the league. The guy hits 330 every single year.
Yep.
What do you want? I mean, Rafael Devers is probably our anchor of that team. The guy's a home run machine, but Xander's right up there. So, hoping we do that. We don't get crazy. If we go on a slide here the next 20 or 30 days and move any of our big pieces, but. Excited about where we're going. It's going to be tough to take out the Yankees though. Dodgers and Yankees, they on paper they should be in the World Series again.
Don't worry, we'll beat them for you on August 22nd and the 23rd. In the Subway Series, we tend to go there. I mean, we're going to take one. Don't let us take both. That's all I'm saying.
You guys not taking the Subway Series. You guys. As a matter of fact, those Mets over in that corner got to worry about these Braves catching up to them right about now. Well, about 3.5 games back now.
I think it's going as it's played out. The Braves, obviously, we know that they're going to make a run. Right?
Yeah, absolutely.
It's a great team. But, we lead right now. We're at 3.5 games up right now. I believe in the NL, in the National League itself, we're a half game ahead of the Dodgers. We're on a losing streak, 3-game losing streak. We hope to pick it back up at home against Texas, starting Friday. So, I mean, what's brought us here is our pitching. Our pitching has been outstanding, from starter to relief. A low-key stat that a lot of people don't recognize with the Mets, we actually hold the most shutouts, in terms of the MLB right now when it comes to our game, and I think that's critical. And pitchers going to win games down the stretch. Just go on to what I said earlier, the trade deadline is going to say a lot on the direction of where a lot of teams go. So we'll see with that. But
agreed. And actually, DeGrom is actually back practicing for you guys in practices, so we should see him back in games soon.
Yeah, that's going to be critical. You add that to the lineup with Verlander and with the way Carrasco and Bassett been playing. I mean, come on, and it's going to be critical. I'm looking forward to it, and I'm looking forward to the Mets just, spanking on the Yankees, showing what,
I'd like to see that too.
Queen, stand up. I'm representing for y'all. I'm from Jersey. I love it. Stand up.
But hold on, back to these Red Sox, man. Hey, I'm still holding the grudge of what Pedro Martinez did to my boy Don Zimmer. I'm still holding that grudge. Listen. That's an old man.
I was live watching
that. That was an old man.
Don Zimmer charged the man.
That's an old man.
He simply placed them on the ground.
Still holding that grudge.
Pedro's my boy, man. I missed that guy.
That's good.
Hall of Famer. Missed that boy.
Nice.
Yeah. Him and David Ortiz, Manny Ramirez. Those are the good old days, guys. Don't get me started about 2004. That was the best sports year of my life.
Omar Garcia Power.
Yes.
Hated him by respect.
Yep.
Facts.
Yep. Came back 3 games to zip from the Yankees.
Come on, man. We don't want to talk about it.
I mean,
don't leave the past in the past.
Jason Garrett
brought up Don Zimmer.
Let's talk about this year.
He said he gave me the open door. I'm like, step right in it.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, you guys got what, 28 championships?
28. Looking for number 29.
You got to give us our 7, right? I mean, God, let me relish in those.
Looking for number 29. Yeah. It's like we trying to get to 60 wins before anybody else even makes it to 50 at this point in time. We are, like you said, on pace.
We're on pace for 108 right now, which is crazy. I think the Mariners are the all-time winners as far as the win total. I think it was 113 or something like that. Yep.
Yeah. I got it. No hate on the Yankees, man. Respect. Your team has always been on top. But yeah, we still going to take it. Hey, honestly, I've been to many Subway Series games back home. And I don't think I actually watched the game. Security's busy that day. Let me tell you. Security's busy. Another fight there. You know what I'm saying? You looking, you watch a Heads game, knocked in their chin a lot, man. But it's great. I love it. I'm so happy since they, once they did the interleague matchups and they incorporated that in baseball. I think that was the best thing for baseball that we needed. Back in the days.
Absolutely.
Thanks. Hey, but before we leave the field, man, I want to jump back into the NFL field real quick, just for the little fantasy that I touched on earlier. We got a 16-team redraft league that's going to be amongst JV Sports team members. Got that one spot available for you guys, though, that's going to be co-owned with the man behind the scenes. So, like I said, man, subscribe, and leave Fantasy League in the comments, and we're gonna randomly select somebody to co-own a team with the man behind the scenes. All right. Bring your best effort. Just stay tuned. We got a lot more details coming up on this league. Like I said, it's going to be a little different. We even going to include a little bit of a defensive player in there too. So stay tuned, JV Sports fans, JV Sports teams. All right, gentlemen, well, that's all the time we got for today, man. I appreciate you guys helping me bang out AFC East division.
Absolutely.
J Money, appreciate you holding down that Kobe corner.
Sir, you already know, man.
With the Mets gear on. Come on, man. Subway Series. And Big Body Boy in the center spot. Appreciate you holding it down.
Yes, sir. Appreciate you having me.
And my man, John.
Yes, sir.
Mr. Patriot Bling.
Awesome finally being here, guys. Thanks for having
Absolutely,
me.
man.
Yeah.
Appreciate you coming through. And as usual, thank you guys for watching. Make sure you check us out at sportjv.com. Support the merch. JDino 407 for savings. Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. And obviously, if you haven't liked and subscribed, make sure you mash that button. And if you want to support the show, CASHAPP us at $JVSPORTSROOM. And as usual, got a quote from you guys from legendary Bill Belichick. Talent sets the floor, but character sets the ceiling.
And another more famous quote, do your job.
Thank you guys for watching.